오! 분자 모양 완료. 여기야? 잠깐만, 이제 꺼. 꺼. 뭐지? 이거 왜 보는 거지? 아, 네트워크 스캐너. 됐어? 저 근데 이게 아닌데? 아, 이건가?
Hello.
뭐야?
I wondered if you might make it here. You're
뭐야?
quite resourceful.
나 보고 있는 거야?
I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please. Step
아들
into the
찾으러
elevator.
왔는데, 드디어 왔는데. 뭐야? 시작. 인스티튜트화 되다. 엘리베이터로 들어가라. 엘리베이터가 어디야? 여기?
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific,
알고 있네.
very personal reason. You are here for your son.
얘가 아들인가?
Busted.
귀검사.
Only opens with a key.
현 대화.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. Mommy's here
I
now.
don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who
Father?
is Father?
Father, help me!
Where is
He's
he?
trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
네가 파더야?
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus.
잠깐만, 근데 얘도
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated.
뭐야? 얘도 뭘 해놓은
He's a
거야?
prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father. That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute. Just as you are a parent to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been... It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean.
Yeah?
I am your son.
어?
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to
Huh?
take in. In the
뭐시라고요?
vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10?
어?
60 years. That is the reality. And here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made
맞는 거야?
great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today.
인공장.
I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
I don't expect you to understand or agree with the decision. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology
지
prolonged
엄마가
his
죽을
life
뻔했는데
and
너무 냉정한 거 아니야?
his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It
장난하나?
seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
다 들어야겠는데 이거.
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here, in the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
그래.
Things are pretty terrible up there.
I've seen it myself. I know.
안 그래도
That
인스티튜트
is
쪽으로
why we
생각하고
are so
있었는데
committed to creating a better life for
아들까지
ourselves here.
얘라니.
And it's a life that you can now be part of. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
일단 레벨 올리기. 레벨 2개 더 올릴 수 있고. 뭘 하면 좋을까 그러면 과학? 그럼 지능 쪽으로 좀 올려 넣는 것도 좋을 것 같은데. 5로 해놓고 해커.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Why build it to look like
그래
you?
이것도
We've
물어보자.
advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records and my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
근데 진짜를
I don't
찾아.
need a synth. I found the real Sean.
Yes, but not the Sean you were looking for. In some ways, the synth is far closer to what you expected. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Sean?
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it? Our
다른
advances
대화는
will
없어?
in time change the world. Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim the Commonwealth. Hello, Mother. Enjoying your time here.
60대가 거의 20, 30대 얼굴을 보고 엄마가
아이.
들리네.
Let your surroundings be a reminder of what science and willpower can accomplish.
자 그러면 여기서 좀 들어오긴 했고 미션도 지우고 요거 쪽으로 가는 건데 각 부서의 지도자들을 만나라. 요거까지 한번 해볼까? 여기도 아래.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
Hey, Doc.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
뭐 아들 찾으려고 그런 거지 뭐.
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running
유지보수.
smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls.
오케이,
The
오케이.
work we
조금 빨리
do
지나가자.
might not be as exciting as some of the others. So, now that you're here and you're
같은 배를 탄 거로 받으냐고? 그래 뭐.
Absolutely.
Good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself. If there's anything else you'd like to.
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of
한세기
scientists.
100년 정도.
The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
멘트를 뚫겠어 아주.
I don't know.
Dr.
Most of them
Fillmore.
have lasted
Hey,
long past their
what do you
projected
need?
lifespans.
또 다른 건
If you
뭐냐?
ask me, they were built pretty well.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a
쓸데없는
place
얘기인 것
like
같긴 한데.
this.
Absolutely. Over the years, we've learned when necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface.
지상에
Fortunately, it's a good thing too. You don't even want to
진짜
know what a
비물질화
single use of the
장치래.
molecular I can't argue with that. Even
There we go.
What's on your
All
mind?
set. Unit, you can
Okay.
I'd
return
like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major
생명
life
유지
support and
장치
security
보안 시스템.
systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of
완전
expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of.
아주
He
세부상을 다
coordinates
알려주고
with
있네.
bioscience to ensure that our meal. We also make
근데
use of a
그거를
number
내가
of
알아서
synth
뭐 해?
units for low.
Dr. Fillmore.
Hi there.
신스
Something I can help you with?
과학자.
Hi.
We're all looking forward to working with
Hey there.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
여기도 신스야?
I wouldn't be here not for your son.
됐고 다 위에 있네 이제. 로보틱. 아 저긴가?
Scanning. Subject
Unnecessary power consumption to a minimum.
엔리코.
Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your
자
navigation...
왼쪽부터 가보자. 여긴 거 같은데.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his
추적자.
Welcome to
office.
the Institute,
Well,
ma'am.
you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps.
유탄 오벌리. 너 아까
Ransacking my
저쪽 아니었냐?
quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass.
Hello.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging
Always
their
be
feet on
vigilant.
targeting package
We have
upgrades
many
I asked for.
enemies.
Maybe
You're
I should
here.
take some courses.
Glad you made it.
Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough
Justin
friction as
Ayo.
it is between
So,
us and pretty much all the
Here
other
you are.
departments.
Justin Ayo, acting director of the Synth
해수과
Detention
임시과장.
Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future.
왜?
Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any...
Right?
그래.
I guess we'll find out.
Indeed. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
탈출?
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt
그래서
down and
추적자들이
reclaim
있었는
synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking.
Right?
But I gather you know all this, since you've... In fact,
운이
I
좋았지.
guess I just
운이
got
좋았지.
lucky.
that's hardly helpful. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed... Now, unless you need something...
If
임시과장?
you're the acting head of the SRB, who are you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position.
짐?
He's supervising in his absence?
Dr. Ayo.
Yes, what is it?
추적자
You
훈련.
mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, we teach them
아니,
armed
기계인데
and unarmed combat,
똑같이
investigative
다르다고?
techniques, psychology.
Right.
Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped.
신기하네.
Justin,
What do you want? And please, make it quick.
그래서
I'd
가죠.
like to know more
알았어,
about the
임마.
synth
여기까지 좀 물어볼게.
reclamation process.
Fine. Once a courser has located a rogue synth, it uses... We then begin the delicate process of restoring them.
Sure.
In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty. All too often, we're unable to repair the...
오케이. 그러면 또 알았고 다음.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
이쪽이네.
I know you'll achieve great
When are you
things.
going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
어드밴스드지. 모든 기술 연구소.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
재미로 한다고? 재미로 한다고?
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it...
What is it you're working on?
Advanced systems, special projects. You've seen the boy, Synth, already. We've been hard... Oh, before I forget. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you.
그래?
Now, unless there's something else.
Tell me about the people in your division.
I'm not sure what there is to say. Dr. Watson is the Specialist Project's lead scientist. Dr. Ormond is one of the youngest scientists in the Institute.
Dr. Lee? Is everything okay, Dr. Lee? You seem pretty tense.
Yes, things are... It's fine.
문제가 있는데.
I'm sorry. I don't socialize much.
이야기를 잘 안 해요. 자, 마지막 알았어, 마지막.
Dr. Lee? I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the Child Synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
오케이, 그럼 마지막. 완전 과학자 집단인데 그냥.
Father has accomplished so much. I hope you can appreciate it.
바이오 사이언스.
Dr. Watson doesn't think I'm Institute material. I'm gonna prove him wrong.
뭐래 왜 나한테 그래?
It's hard to stand out when you're surrounded by geniuses.
You had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's
여기
plan.
생명과학.
I wonder how the Warwick family is
so
doing.
good to have you here.
Young
Dr.
Wally must be
Clayton
close to 10 years old by
head of the
now.
bioscience
It's
division.
remarkable
I
that any
can't
child
wait for
can
you to see the
survive
work
for
we're
so
doing.
long up there, don't you
it's
think?
truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the bioscience
유전학
division
의학과.
specializes in field. Our most important directive is to that end, we cultivate. We've even started to explore the idea. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. The initiative is still... I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time.
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I am...
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creature, they destroyed 2 of their synth handlers.
Dr. Holdren?
Something I can do for you?
You mentioned medical care? I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist, and Dr. Volkert works in the... You won't find better medical care...
마지막.
Anything I can help you with?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
I think Dr. Carlin was looking for help with one of his experiments. You should talk to him.
오케이, 됐고. 신스 회수? 저걸로 가나 보네. 자, 얘긴 다 했고. 그러면